Traders, welcome back to another price session trading lesson. Today's session started looking at the trading range. We have big move down, big move up. I want to follow the trend line rule as a price session trader to help me navigate the price charts correctly. And market likes to move in pairs of two. So we have a two-legged pullback down with the new extreme and two-legged pullback up with the new extreme. However, I can see that this bullish structure is looking quite strong. We haven't really pushed below EMA just yet. It's looking like a one big move up. So there's a chance for me to also draw a wider channel. So what do I do in this instance? Do I play break new high or do I draw wider channel? Well, if I'm deciding between two options like this, EMA is going to be the deciding factor. If the EMA is not going to hold and we're going to continue working lower, I'm going to start selling. But if we're going to push back above EMA and EMA is going to hold, I'm going to adapt. And notice we have massive bullish push. Okay, so at this point, this pretty much told me I'm adapting to a wider uptrend because this is a very strong bullish push. However, this downtrend needs to get new extreme. So let's see what's going to happen. Okay, we have a high low, but EMA is flat. This is right now a sideways structure. Congestion, I don't really want to take it. The downtrend needs to get new extreme. I don't want to go long or short just yet. Okay, the downtrend finally created new extreme, which means that these sellers are no longer present in the market. Okay, and we have a failed breakout because most breakouts of trend ranges will fail. And this right here is a mini trend range congestion. But the failed breakout has inside bar and the market is going to open very, very soon. And notice what we have. We have high-low confirmation setup of the failed breakout. We take one tick lower, reverse all the way back up. Why am I thinking bullish? Downtrend played out. This is confirmation of the failed breakout and the uptrend needs to get new extreme. However, the stock market is going to open very, very soon. So I can only mark it as an example from price action perspective. You don't really want to be taking trades right around the open. There's a whipsaw in volatility. So this is good setup, but right around the open. And market keeps working hard. Okay, and we created new extreme. So at this point, I'm pausing my longs. Am I looking to sell, however? Not really, because this was quite a strong push up. Don't really want to sell just yet. If I'm thinking about selling, I would like to see push below EMA and reversal pattern, failed second entry long. So as you can see, the market keeps just going sideways, pretty much no good opportunity for me. I don't want to go long because you just have a break new high. You know, I can't really sell. This is just no trade zone. Just be patient. Don't get lured in taking setups just because you think you have to take a setup. It's okay just to wait for market to offer you something clear. And notice this is important because this is a sideways structure. We broke lower and here you would expect for prices to go back into the trend range. The fact that this didn't happen and market reverse strong above EMA, 3 big bullish bars, this is telling me, okay, there is a strong bullish imbalance. We never were supposed to push back above the EMA and above this key level if the sellers are in the market. So when I'm watching this, it's pretty much clear that I have to forget about selling. I just need to wait for right opportunity to buy. Okay, I'm going to redraw the short and downtrend. You can see how EMA is flattening, and once you see EMA flattening, a lot of consistent price swings up and down, but you're thinking about some form of a congestion, just like you did here. At this point, I'm just waiting this out. You can see you also have series of lower highs, so it's starting to get a little bit unclear. Is the range going to hold, or we have series of lower highs? Remember, as a price action trader, I need to take a high priority setup where the context is clear. The key entry point is present and I want to take a high priority setup. I'm not interested in guessing or taking setups that are way too aggressive. So I'm just waiting this area out. Okay. And we have push above EMA. This is starting to get interesting. We have one bounce, almost second bounce, third bounce, and fourth bounce. So this right here is a triple test technically. The sellers are failing to break the support. And if we're going to push above EMA, this is pretty much going to confirm that this small trend range is holding. And notice we have high-low confirmation setup and this time closing strong above EMA, and all the traders who sold here, they just got trapped. So because now I can see multiple confirmations of the support, which is pretty much right now getting established, I can trust this trend range and I can trust this bullish bias. Okay, you can see low, high low, high low, and we keep creating high lows. So this right here is a good high low, great tier 1 signal bar, closing on its very high, great high probability setup. Market keeps working here. I'm going to redraw the short and uptrend. Okay, so you can see there's a bullish bias. I'm not interested in selling at this point because we clearly have series of high lows, high highs. I can't really go long. It's just a first entry. Okay, when I was watching this, I was thinking about possible uptrend, let's say something like this, because it's starting to look like bullish bias may start. This is a lot of times how uptrends for the day will start, where you push out of the trend range, there's a consolidation around the key level, and you're going to push higher. So when I'm watching this, I'm thinking that the bias may be bullish, but the trend is definitely weak. So I have a new high, I need to redraw the short and downtrend, because the trend line rule applies even for these mini corrections. And I would need to take second entry long if I want to go long. Okay, you have break, new low, and we have second entry long. Can I go long? I cannot. The stop loss here would be over 4 points. You can see it is still inside bar of this, and we broke below the EMA. So when I'm watching this, I would like to see how low above the EMA the confirmation setup, and how low has a horrible bearish bar. If I want to buy above nice bullish bar, something like this. Doesn't have to be so perfect, but definitely not bearish bar like this. So the second entry long ended up working for a scalp, but I still don't think we can take it. And the high low is just bad, horrible bar. And notice, okay, what is happening? So at this point, I need to adapt. My analysis was incorrect. We are back below the trend range, and you can see how deep this downtrend was. So because we started with the trend range, the uptrend was negated. I'm just going to focus on downtrend right now. What it ended up being, we had first leg up, consolidation, larger two-legged push into a new extreme. It just took a little bit longer for sellers to finally jump into the market. The market right now is reversing. Okay, I'm going to redraw the short and uptrend. What are you expecting at this point? Second entry short at the EMA, new low, first attempt to sell, pull back, second attempt to sell. Why am I thinking about second entry short? Notice EMA is rejecting, and because this downtrend needs to get new extreme. However, the short-term uptrend is still in play. I cannot take it just yet because I can get burned, I can get stopped out only to see it go where I thought it was going to go. So when I'm watching this, I would like to see lower high, and notice we close outside. Bulls attempted to test the new high and strong reverse down. So this right here is a great lower high T1 signal bar confirmation setup of the second entry short. This was the second entry short, and this right here is the lower high confirmation setup. You can see it tick higher, EMA held once, twice, reverse down, great momentum. It was a quick, easy scalp. I actually took this setup myself. It worked for 3 points, so you got out way above your scalp. Okay, and now we have a second entry long failure counting from this high. First entry long, pull back, second entry long failure. Now my signal bar on my chart is doji, and this uptrend needs to get new high, and this is what I call a wide filled second entry, when it's starting to go too sideways because it wants to create new high for this uptrend, and it's resembling like a broad second entry short. However, this is way too advanced, way too nuanced, so I am willing to mark this because one trader asked me about this, and honestly, you need to have a lot of experience to be recognizing what's going on here. You know, on my chart, there's no setup because the signal bar is not that great, and given the fact that uptrend is new high, and you're expecting, this is the first leg, you're expecting the second leg to new high. However, the trader had much better bearish bar, so if you took a short right here, the felt second entry long, I can definitely see why. Not a horrible setup to take a chance. Trading is about taking a chance. Fortunately, you just got stopped out. That's part of trading. You shake it off. And notice what is happening. One top, double top, triple top. So we have triple test. Triple test, and we finally have the two-legged pullback, visual two-legged pullback. The signal bar, however, is inside bar. Now, if you on your chart have better bar that ticked higher, let's say, and then reversed, you could have considered great triple test. When I'm watching this, I'm thinking lower high confirmation. So remember, the downtrend still needs new low. And notice there was no break below this bar anyway. So it doesn't matter, even if you're thinking about taking this triple test, you can't really take it because there was no trigger. It stalled. We get a lower high here, but by the time we get lower high, you're closing way too close to these lows. I prefer to have lower high here, right after the triple test near the EMA. The lower high ended up working because your stop loss goes one tick above the signal bar. So you can see you just have to ride this out, and the scalp was made. But I think it's quite risky to be taking this too close to lows. Next time you will take it, it may bounce on you, stop you out by 1 or 2 ticks, and then go lower, and you will kick yourself. So it's better to follow the rules. But you can see how price action is behaving. Downtrend, expect a new extreme, the two-legged pullback, and right now we have new extreme. So I'm going to pause, looking to sell. Okay, there is no lower high because we don't have a trigger above this bullish bar. Okay, now we have new low, first entry short, second entry short, it kind of like a lower high. But what is the bias? Ask yourself. We just formed break new low. And this is resembling setup like this. It's just going way too sideways. I'm not really sure what here the bias is, because if the lower high is going to form here, let's say, you can more trust bearish bias because the lower high is really close to second entry short and the EMA is rejecting. Now that the EMA is flattening and it's going more sideways, we just had a break new low, so I can't really take it. Just be patient. Okay, it worked for a scalp, but that doesn't mean anything. We can't take aggressive setup. So I'm just waiting. Okay, it looks like the market is gonna bounce higher here. I don't think you can sell. You know, this is a tempting long, kind of like a breakout pullback high low. The bias is not that clear. Okay, now I'm gonna redraw the short-term uptrend. When I was watching this, I was even thinking about possible spike in a channel like this. But in order for me to trust a spike in a channel like this, I would like this push to break below this low to create lower low, because that's how channels work. Lower highs, lower lows. The fact that it didn't, it consolidated and it's starting to push higher. This is where I decided to delete this channel, and I was just focusing on the trend range structure, because as you can see, we have a move down, move up, move down. EMA is completely flattening. So once you are trading any form of indecision, you're probably in some form of a trend range. Indecision is hallmark of a trend range. So this is where you have to follow the short-term channels and just be patient. Okay, I can't go long because the downtrend is in play. I have a short-term uptrend working higher. Okay, we have a new extreme for this downtrend. Great. I have a larger two-legged pullback down, second leg down. So I'm thinking about push above the EMA back into trend range. It is not happening. We had one little push lower, and notice what is happening. We have small support being formed. I still see two-legged pullback down, and this is still trend range. You know, flat EMA, a lot of price swings up and down. I'm just going to zoom out and see. You can see that this is very much a trend range. There is no clear strong uptrend or downtrend. I still have visual two legs down. You know, I don't really want to draw a super big channel like this, because this is just so broad. This is too range-like for this channel to be in play. So if anything, now we have actually a decent triple test. One bottom, double bottom, triple bottom. So I'm going to mark it more aggressive because it is way too advanced, but the signal bar is nice. You trap all the sellers selling after the two-legged pullback depleted. I'm going to redraw the short-term uptrend. Okay, a break new high, but the EMA is rejecting. So when I'm watching this, I was thinking possible second entry long, because second entry long would also form as a triple test, and I can see geometric formations of these lows. So I was thinking that we may pull back with the second leg to this potential trend line, because when you have a break new high without touching the EMA earlier, a lot of times this is signaling additional bullish momentum, but you can see that never formed and market just continued working higher without a good high probability setup. I'm going to adjust it like this. Okay, I have a new high, first entry long, and now I have second entry long, but this second entry long is going long directly into the highs of a trend range. Here we can work with the structure inside a trend range, since from the very bottom all the way to the top, not a single close below EMA. This is still looking like a one seamless move up. And notice how these two legs are very broad apart from each other. So this is telling you, okay, given the fact that EMA keeps rejecting every single time, and this uptrend is so steep and this two-legged pullback is so broad, chances are very high that the second entry long is going to continue working higher. Once again, more aggressive and more advanced. Okay, market form new extreme. Most breakouts of trend ranges will fail. However, because this was such a strong uptrend, not a single close below EMA, I need to see reversal pattern, fell second entry long, counting from the highest new high, first entry long, pullback, and a great fell second entry long. This would have been a great setup. Great fell second entry long, new high, first entry long, second entry long, below the trend range, below the EMA, great signal bar, but it never triggered. It stalled, so unfortunately you have to cancel the order. And then you have sort of like a lower high confirmation of this fell second entry long, but at this point, you already made a new low for this downtrend. So, you know, I'm not really a fan of this. Had this bar closed without creating new low, maybe it still worked well, nice for a scalp, but I think it is way too aggressive. But your idea to look to sell is correct. Failed second entry long reversal pattern and then lower high confirming it. We are pushing back above the trend range. And you can see the EMA is starting to flatten. We have a lot of price swings up and down. No clear bias, price action push all the way back up. I don't think you can take anything here. And pretty much at this point, it completely stalled and got completely wedgy. Now you can see there was a last bullish rally, but you pretty much have to trade this messy and wedgy price action. No clear bias, no clear direction. Just don't force it around this area. So this is the bigger picture for today. Pretty much trend range price action. There were two very nice high lows at the very beginning of the session. After this bullish push above EMA, it's pretty much clear that the bias is bullish. There is bullish imbalance. This was a nice second entry short and lower high. It's a shame there was no trigger for the triple test. A little bit stalled around this area. Towards the end, a complete congestion as well. So slower day, but if you're patient, there are a couple of good high probability setups. Just the fact that you need to be patient and you need to catch them all. I only took one trade today. It was this lower high, and it's pretty much what I'm waiting for. I like these freebies where the context is clear. You're at the key entry point and is a lower high confirmation of the second entry short. Other than that, you have to wait this area only to take this triple test and this possible second entry long. And if you have trigger for this failed second entry long, it's a great reversal pattern. So I'm going to wrap it up. I hope you had a good trading day. I'm going to talk to you next time. Good luck with your trading.